You know what time it is. It's time for another episode of the 7 and a Hook Podcast, the world's premier sports betting podcast. Your source for the best information and insight when it comes to sports wagering. We cover it all because you bet on it all. So let's head up to the studio and get this show rolling.
Hey, Brooksie here, the Irish Insider for the 7 and a Hook Podcast. I hope everybody's having a great day. It is Sunday. It is NFL week number 2. We're ready to get down. We're ready to go over the games. We're ready to make some money. Hope everybody's having a good start to the season so far. Brooksie here. Well, how we doing? Pretty good. 13, 6, and 1 against the spread. That's right. 13, 6, and 1 ATS. Taking the picks, cashing the ticks, right? That's what we do here. Okay, so what are we going to do today? Well, early games, I'm going to break down every 1 o'clock game. That's right. We're going to go through those first. Later today, there'll be another video with the late afternoon games, probably the Sunday night game. And I might even dabble into the Monday night game, although I may leave that for tomorrow. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to put that pick up yet or not. I'm still kind of going back and forth on my handicapping. So anyways, again, thanks to all those that have been listening. Above my head is the website 7andahook.com. Make sure you visit it. Check out all of our socials, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Go to YouTube. Search out 7 and a Hook Podcast. Give us a follow. Give us a like. All the above. And as we always say, be a participator, not just a spectator. Send us an email. Send us an instant message. Whatever you need to do. We always get back to everybody as soon as possible. Again, a lot of great things ahead. The season is literally just underway. Week 2 here in NFL. College football is underway. A lot of great games going on. And again, we still got a lot of great content ahead of us. Not just myself, our other host. We got Kara, the Queen of Diamonds. She's going to be joining us. We've got Doug E. Betts with a Z. He's going to be on some upcoming episodes. Don't forget Easy Money, Eric LaFleche, and then Jimmy D for Double Down. As I mentioned on one of our previous shows, that we're going to be planning some additional remote shows. That's right, taking the show on the road as we did at the end of last year. So still working out some details on that, but there'll be more to follow, and really looking forward to taking the show on the road. It's great to be in front of the crowds, in front of everybody that's the audiences, and everybody's at the local bars or the taverns, and we interact. We give some, do some trivia, give away some swag. It's a good time. So anyways, all right, so without further ado, let's get this show rolling. Like I said, we're going to look at today's 1 o'clock games. Later, I'm going to have probably another video with the 4:25 games, whatever they're called now, and that Sunday night game. So, all right, we're going to start with the New England Patriots on the road, travel to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. As of showtime, depending on where you're looking, Patriots were -2.5, -2 and a hook, or -3, depending on where you're getting your line. I guess for the show, we'll just say they're -3. Points total set at 40 and a hook, 40 and a half points. Okay, now the Pats, disappointing week 1. They went on the road. They lost to Miami at the Dolphins, 20-7. Pretty anemic performance by the Patriot offense, and Miami did what they had to do at home to pick up the win. Now the Steelers, on the other hand, they kind of surprised the world. Not us, because we had them last week, and they traveled to Cincinnati and actually won that game outright in in overtime, 23-20. So Bengals were not very good opening game. So you know what? That's what happens sometimes. You got to be ready. Any team, any Sunday can win. So all right, but okay, I look at both of these games, and okay, why are the Patriots favored, right? I mean, they were terrible. Pittsburgh played okay. I mean, okay enough to get a win. That's good in my book. But, at the end of the day, the Steelers are still a bad team. And Mitchell Trubisky is not a good quarterback. Najee Harris is banged up in running back. Listen, I think the Pats have a bounce back game here. I'm going to lay the 3 with the Patriots. As far as the points total, everyone's looking under. Yeah, no, I'm going opposite. We're going to go over 40 and a half points in this game. All right, moving on. Definitely a marquee matchup this week, and that's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road travel to take on the New Orleans Saints. Now the Bucs favored by 2.5, 2 and a hook on the road here. Points total set at 43 and a hook. Both teams come into this game 1-0. The Bucs got their business done against the Cowboys last Sunday night, 19-3. Really suffocated that Dallas offense. And the Saints got the job done. It was a hard one, and it probably shouldn't have been this hard. They had to come back in the fourth quarter, but they beat Atlanta 27-26. Now, this is back-to-back road games to start the season for Tampa Bay. And they are a little bit banged up. They're going to be missing, I think Chris Godwin's not going to be playing at wide receiver. I like the Saints in this matchup, and I know it's not because the Saints have had their number last couple of games. I just think this is a bad spot for Tampa. And you know what? Tampa's a little bit banged up. Saints are a very, very, very physical team. They always get up for when they play Tampa. So I'm going to take the home dog here. So give me the 2.5 points with New Orleans. And as far as the points total set at 43 and a hook, looking down. We're going to go under that total on this game. All right, moving on. Got the Miami Dolphins on the road, travel to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Now the Ravens are favored by 3.5, 3 and a hook. Points total set at 44. All right. Now both teams coming into this game 1-0. As I already mentioned, Miami took care of business with the Pats last week, and the Ravens beat the lowly Jets 24-9. Now, okay, both teams good start to the season. Miami, all eyes are on Tua. And as far as the Ravens, all eyes are on Lamar. You know, he didn't sign his big contract extension, but he's still playing it out, and I think he's going to put up some big numbers, not just for the season. I think he's going to have a pretty good day today. So, and I actually think, and I know it's early in the season, but Miami might be looking ahead to next week. You know who they're matched up against? Yeah, the Bills, Buffalo. So that's going to be a clash in the AFC East next week. So look for the Ravens to take care of business here. I'm going to lay the 3 and a hook, 3.5 points. And as far as the points total set at 44, yeah, I'm going to look up. We're going to go over 44 in this game. All right, next game up, we've got Indianapolis Colts on the road, travel to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Colts are favored by 3, -3. Points total set at 43 and a hook. All right, Colts, not a very, very happy week one. They tied. Yeah, I mean, tying in the NFL, man, that's terrible. 20-20 against the Houston Texans. The Jags, they lost their first game 28-22 to Washington. Now, that's after having a 22-14 lead in the fourth quarter. Jags being the Jags, man, they just haven't figured out, even with a new head coach, how to finish games. Matt Ryan, obviously the new quarterback for the Colts after leaving Atlanta after 12 or 13 years, is 4-0 lifetime against the Jags. Now, I know it's a different team, but again, the Jags are still the Jags until they can prove me wrong. And they have to, again, I think they're going to be in for a long season, just like last year. They got to learn how to win games, and I don't know if Matty Ryan and the Colts are the team they're going to do it against. So I'm going to take the Colts here. I'm going to lay the 3 points on the road here. And as far as the points total set at 43 and a hook, yeah, look up. I think you're going to see some points in this game. So, all right, next up, we get the Carolina Panthers on the road, travel to take on the New York Giants. Panthers, -1 on the road, and points total set at 43 and a hook. A lot of 43 and a hooks this week, I guess, as far as points total. So, Panthers, they're 0-1 to start the season. They lost to the Browns. That was that was the Baker Mayfield quarterback. He gets traded to the Panthers and going to beat the Browns. It was going to be a great story. Yeah, not so fast. Now, the thing is, the Panthers were close to winning. Not that that means anything. They had a 24-23 lead with a little over a minute to go. Their defense couldn't get it done, and the Browns kicked a 58-yard field goal with, I think there was 8 or 9 seconds left. So not the way Baker Mayfield wrote it up. The Giants, on the other hand, they ended up winning their first game. Yeah, good for the G-men, right? They went on the road and beat Tennessee. Yeah, not a lot of people saw that coming. 21-20. All right, this line at -1. Giants at home. Listen, I mean, I like the fact that the Giants came out and beat Tennessee. I just think Carolina's a little better team here. So this game's basically a pick 'em. I'm going to go with Carolina. I know I'm probably going against a lot of the logic out there with this game, and a lot of money's on the Giants here. Only getting a point at home, but I think Carolina gets the job done here. As far as the points total set at 43 and a hook, yeah, looking down. We're going to go under 43.5 on this game. All right, two early games left on the board here, or at least for this show, and that is we're going to start with the New York Jets on the road, travel to take on the Browns, Cleveland Browns. Now, the Browns are favored by 6.5, 6 and a hook. Points total set at 39.5, 39 and a hook. All right. Jets, mentioned them earlier. They lost to the Ravens, 24-9. And the Browns, they're 1-0, as we just talked about them, as they knocked off the Panthers. All right. The Jets, are terrible, right? We've all kind of agreed that. But they are a spunky bunch, right? They do occasionally step up, and this could be one of those spots. I just think this line at 6.5 seems really low, right? I mean, the Jets are terrible, and the Browns won their first game. They're at home. Shouldn't this line be more like 9.5, 10, something like that? Yeah, stinky. I think this line stinks. I think the book is begging us to take Cleveland here. I ain't buying. I'm going to take the 6.5, and I'm going to take the Jets in this spot. Oh, yeah. Watch the Jets here. They got, again, a little spunky team. I think they're going to come to play today. And as far as the points total set at 39 and a hook, yeah, I'm going to go over. I think there's going to be some points here. We're going to go over 39.5. So last early game on the board for this episode is Washington, the Commanders, on the road, travel to take on the Detroit Lions. Lions are -1 at home. Points total set at 48. Everybody's darling is the Detroit Lions, right? Because of the Hard Knocks HBO show. All right, so Washington, how'd they start off the year? 1-0, right? They beat Jacksonville. Kind of already talked about that. Detroit, disappointing, but again, feisty. They ended up losing their first game at home to the Eagles, 38-35. But again, that was a shootout. It was exciting. But man, they're always in games, right? We talked about it last year. We bet them quite a few times last year. Even though they lost a lot of games, we made some coin on them because they were always in games here. So this kind of comes down to the quarterbacks, right? Do you trust Carson Wentz or do you trust Jared Goff? I really don't trust either of them, but I'm going to lean towards the Lions here. And I just think if there's a spot to get right, it's against Washington, who I don't think is a very good team. So I'm going to lay the 1 here with the Lions. And as far as the points total, 48, seems like a lot, right? Yeah, I don't think so. I think you're going to see more offense than defense here. We're going to go up. We're going to go over 48 here. So, okay. So those are the early 1 o'clock games. Again, should be a video later today with the late afternoon games and the Sunday night game. So anyways, hey, enjoy the games. And as we always say, may your bad beats be small and your big wins be monster.
Thanks again for tuning in to the 7 and a Hook podcast. Until next time, may your bad beats be small and your big wins be monster.